Welcome back to Squid Game Theory, and today we're going to be going over episode number 2, part 2 of What If Junho Found the Island Sooner. If you didn't go and see my part 1, do make sure you go and watch that before this one, because you will not understand where we're coming from. I do apologise for the slight late upload this week. I've been really busy, had a lot of things going on in real life, and then I've had other channels to kind of try and catch up on, so now I'm finally getting to do Squid Game Theory. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so, in the previous video, assuming you watched it, we left off with everyone in the control room and Junho, the front man, he killed Junbae. It was sad, but I felt like that was a good dynamic, and it heavily inspired season 3 in the way Gi-hun was at the beginning. So I definitely think that's how I wanted to keep that dynamic. That was a really cool dynamic. So, I want to have a very similar scene with the coffins being brought in and Gi-hun being brought out. But this time, it's not just Gi-hun. Several coffins come in. Gi-hun being one of them. Junho and some of his crew that are still alive are taken into the games. Junho and his crew obtain numbers of fallen players. Players that died in the rebellion. They are now in the games. Gi-hun, he asks, "Why did you guys live? You killed everyone else, but why us? Why? Why?" And Junho, he tries to come down in, and Gi-hun just throws him off. And he does the similar thing when he gets them to point in the head, "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." And they handcuff him to a bed. The mystical woman, she comes up and she says all the weird ass stuff that she likes to yap about. And then they come over. Number 7. And his mum. I can't remember the names for the life of me. It's been that long. They come over. And they tell him it was Daeho's fault. They stare at he stares at Daeho, blaming him. Not just for Junbae's death, but for everyone's death of the night. And Daeho just stares back, clueless of the anger Gi-hun holds for him. And then it goes thus further. We go to the game. Hide and seek. They get their balls. And then, with the balls, they're all on the same team, luckily. Gi-hun, Junho, and the crew. They're all on the same team. Daeho, of course, is on the opposite team. Everyone basically retains the teams they did. The only difference here is Junho's team are on the killing side, which of course they'd be really good at that because they are. It's kind of their thing. So, yeah, pretty cool. I like that dynamic. So yeah, Gi-hun, he keeps staring at him, and you know they have that little thing. They have their little confrontation. You've got player 100. He's trying to get a thing. He's trying to get a partner. So now what happens? So episode number 2 of series 3. The games play out. It plays out exactly the same, except of course Junho and the crew, they go and kill the weaker character. Well, they just kill anyone that they can just to get through. Gi-hun, he goes after Daeho. They have the confrontation. Of course, Daeho murmurs in his last breath, "It's your fault." And then Gi-hun, you know, he gets ready to kill himself. The guards, they shoot his thing. And this episode 2 isn't going to really change. And things aren't really going to change. Of course, in this game, the baby's born. Sadly, I think this needs to stay how it is. There's gonna hopefully be a way out of this. I'll have to see how things go. Episode 3. Of course, we have... Is it jump rope? I checked this. Oh god. We have jump rope, don't we? Episode. I'm gonna log on my Netflix. Season 3, 6 episodes. Episode 3. Mute, okay. Yeah. Okay, so episode 3 has the end as the beginning of the jump rope. Of course, the mother dies because she kills herself, because she killed her son, so she kills herself. She obviously has the conversation with Gi-hun, but also Junho hears this conversation, so he also helps with Junhee with the baby, and the VIPs will still discuss the cruel proposal to put the baby in the game. And then, of course, the episode ends with 96 doing his silly little things, and Gi-hun obviously, yes, they start the fight. Episode 4, it begins the same. Sadly. Well, not sadly, really, is it? I'm gonna have her survive this time. I'm gonna have Junhee survive. Why? With the help of Junho and his crew, I feel like they've got a better chance of getting her through. I feel like Junho and his crew, they're really that angry. They don't really care for people. So they push and shove them off like 96 did. Gi-hun shouts at him and he says, Gi-hun, it's every man for themselves now. Well, as in like our group and them. But we need to get out of this and we need to do whatever it takes to get us out. Gi-hun just stops and he's defeated. Episode 5. Of course, we've still got all the Noel stuff going on. I should have mentioned that all the way through. Noel is still, you know, trying to help 246 get out. Things like that. So. Before the final game, the frontman asks to speak to both Gi-hun and Junho. They have a conversation. He tries to offer them a way out. But this time, Junho convinces him to take it. They must kill every single player. So yeah, it's no Sky Squid Game. I never was a big fan of Sky Squid Game. I like the concept and things, but it didn't make much sense because it just felt kind of like a repeat of Series 1. We had a load of extra characters that didn't mean anything there. It's probably my only downside to Season 3. Really. And of course Junho, which is why these little mini-series exists. I was really... Yeah, so in episode 4, you know, they agreed to kill. They leave. Episode 5 opens. Tensions start to rise. The officer gets suspicious of what Noel's up to. He does more investigations. They finally figure out it's 246 that died, rather than... it was the doctor on the bed rather than 246, and 246 is still alive, and it's the one she's trying to get out. Inho and Gi-hun, they do what they have. Well, Gi-hun can't bring himself to do it. He has the moment with Sae-byeok, but of course Junho doesn't really have that, so Junho does it. And then Inho comes down. He gets them all out. Gihyun, the baby, Junhee, Junho, and the remaining of his crew. They get them all out. Inho goes up to his office, turns the keys. The VIPs are still sat on their sofas. He turns one more key. That locks the door to the VIP's escape route. Inho legs it to the boats where he sent the others to. They get on this boat. They sail out. Boom! Island still explodes. Inho has escaped. The Korean games are destroyed. Inho says, "It's not over though. There's still more to go." Gihyun says, "It's not my concern anymore. I've ended the ones in Korea. Now, I must go see my daughter." Now, I will have a full episode now. Episode 6 will still happen. And inside of episode 6 will be the epilogue. Junho and Inho are plotting their future together to stop the rest of the games. This will be a spin-off, by the way. This will be the spin-off. This is what sets a spin-off. I feel like season 3 barely set up a spin-off. Of course, the American one, but it's not really a spin-off unless, I don't know. I feel like it just depends the way they work it, with it being a very different writer and things like that. But I feel like episode 6 would be, could set up 2 possible spin-offs. The Inho and Junho spin-off, where they're going around the world, ending all the other games. Gihyun in America, he sees his daughter, he apologizes. He takes her in a limo, or whatever he's in, and a similar scene happens. He sees the American recruiter. So here we've set up 2 spin-offs. Set up a spin-off where Gihyun's in America, and now, because Junho and Inho are in the rest of the world, in Europe and Asia and Oceania, they can't help him. So he has to tackle the American games on his own. So, that was it. That was Squid Game, but what if Junho found the island early? I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I really enjoyed it. You know, things could have been a little bit different than how I've done it, but I'm real happy with how the ending went. I think it's much better. I definitely think it could be changed a little bit, because, as I said for this, I haven't really wrote it. I'm kind of talking as I go. I kind of think about it a little bit before I record, and then I kind of talk about it and try and develop my ideas a bit. But that's kind of what writing's all about. I kind of feel like seeing the raw side of me, kind of thinking of things, rather than you just getting the scripts that I do for the season 4 and season 5. I think that's also a lot better. So yeah, that was that. Let me know any other theories you want me to do in the comment section down below, because I've got ideas, but if you've got any ideas that you want me to try and turn into reality, do let me know in the comment section down below. It's been me, Squid Game Theory, or Sal, the host, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.